Halo.
What's going on, guys? This is Fletch here from Ultimate Halo. Welcome back. Now, Halo 2. Yesterday it was 15 years old, which makes me in turn feel ridiculously old, and honestly this game was just sensational. I remember it like it was yesterday. Genuinely fantastic game. But one thing that we learned today or yesterday was that there was quite a few unreleased maps. That's kind of a given of any release of any video game ever, but we finally got to see one. So Victor Leon is a senior art director at HTC Vive. Met him a couple times, very nice guy, but he also used to work for 343 Industries, Highwire, and previously before that at Bungie Studios. Now this guy has probably designed a lot of maps that you will all remember throughout your childhood. So he actually wanted to show us a map to celebrate Halo 2's 15-year anniversary. Initially he was kind of teasing it, so he said, I'm on the fence here. Would it be a good day for me to finally post the shots of a Halo 2 multiplayer map I made back in 04 that was completely rejected? I had cobbled it together in a week and it's definitely not pretty. Also played like crap. So I guess we weren't missing out on anything as such, but it's still kind of a shame because you look at all these old maps, and even so, player freedom and creativity these days, they can make anything with anything. Who knew that infection was going to become a thing when it came to Halo 2? So initially he posted this blurred image which kind of teased it. It was kind of like a foggy, vibe in like a desert kind of sky area. He described the map as it was a small dueling Banshees level floating above a gas giant. So floating above a gas giant, well, we can actually think back to the Halo 2 campaign, one of your first missions as the Arbiter. Now you're actually going to find the heretics to take them down, but that was also above what looks to be a gas giant from what I recall, and that map was one of the most, I wouldn't say it was the most visually interesting maps in Halo, but it was one of the sort of designs that we haven't seen very recurring throughout other Halo games in the future. And to me, design-wise, it definitely stands out. So this is a first screenshot that Vic actually posted about it. So Anchor Point is very interesting in terms of design. The clouds are cool, and to say this was cobbled together in a week, pretty impressive. I mean, obviously these days, you won't be able to do this kind of thing in a studio because like maps just take so much more designing. But I do like the design, and it does look very similar to the heretics we see in Halo 2, but with some subtle design differences. It looks like, naturally, as the name implies, it's going to anchor something to a structure, and it's hard to see what's at the bottom, but it does look like there's a lot going on here. And yeah, fair enough, for a Banshee dueling map it does look pretty cool, but I can't see much utility outside of it so far. But then the second screenshot he shared was this one. I actually really like the pipes sort of design on this, but aesthetically there's not a lot going on. All the textures look very samey, but like he said, he cobbled it together in a week, so I'm not really going to rail on him for this because Vic is actually a very talented designer. And then here is another shot of the pipes, really interesting. Honestly, I'm sat here thinking whether it is actually possible to go within those pipes. That'd be quite a cool sort of thing. And pipes, the only real pipe we've seen in the past is High Ground on Halo 3. Now that was cool, just going through that little pipe itself. And here is it being played with a Banshee in action. I really do like this actually. I could also see some sort of like castle wars going on from Halo 5. You look at that bridge there that the actual reticle is pointing at, like actually it's going 1-to-1 against some guys whilst Banshees are shooting the shit out of each other in the air. And you can also see a teleporter in the distance as well. Of course, the low resolution images, this is from like pre-2004, so back then it was more 480p monitors. They don't really stand up in today's means. But what's very interesting, very interesting, is our good friend Grim Brother 1 replied to this tweet. So it's not interesting the fact that I replied to it, but what he said really gripped me. I actually played this not too long ago. Lol. Why would he be playing this? Now, I understand that sometimes they have all these old files that are accessible, and if they have some free time, they could probably go access repositories in the actual studio that have all of these games and backlogs and arts and models from over the years. So I'm sure it's fun to just play around, and I think it's also good for developers just to go see what previous devs did to gather inspiration for new games, titles. But not that I think this will happen, but it would be very interesting if we got to see some unreleased maps on MCC when it comes to PC, and maybe an update to the Xbox console version as well. And then in response to this, it really bugs me because this is like the ultimate tease. Vic then says it's still in the archive along with my old Mombasa and jungle tests and the abandoned Foreigner city. And then when a guy says the what, He then replies with, "You'll know more in 5 years." So yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait till the 20th anniversary of Halo 2 to actually be able to access this stuff. But you know what? I'm kind of mad. I'm low-key mad, but it is what it is at this point. So this leads me to put the question to you guys. What is your favourite map to use a Banshee on? I think a lot of people think of like Valhalla because the Banshee's on that map, and don't get me wrong, using the Banshee on the Valhalla map is really interesting, but Breakneck from Halo Reach's remaster of the Halo 2 map, Headlong I believe it was one of the multiplayer map packs from Halo 2. That was so fun to use a Banshee on. Obviously big team battle maps work better, but I think the free roaming space, being able to zip around the buildings, dropping on bridges and just Banshee bomb a guy is such a satisfying feeling. But if you would like to know the top 5 forgotten maps in Halo, subscribe, because in the coming days we're going to have a top 5 forgotten maps video, and I really want to know what you guys think are the top 5 forgotten maps in Halo, and I'll be giving you my take. So make sure you subscribe. My name is Jack Fletch. You can follow me at FletchUH, at Ultimate Halo, Ultimate_Halo, can't remember our own Twitter, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.